What's going on, everybody? This is Living in Arizona Now, and today we're going to talk about the Arizona housing market. So, I have a bit of an update for you guys. I've been doing some research, want to know what's going on in Arizona. Let me see if I can fix some of this lighting here. Um, Looks like it's not going to work out so well, but that's okay. You guys can still see. Uh, anyway, let's start this live stream off by everyone telling us where you're tuning in from. And I will give you guys a shout out here in the comments as we get this live stream cranking. So I got some good information, especially for renters. It's not just about housing market. First thing we'll talk about is going to be Arizona rent tax going away starting January 1st. So new state law bans cities, towns from imposing the tax on most leases. So there's a lot of taxes in the United States right now, in case you didn't notice. And believe it or not, I met some people who actually feel like we need more taxes. I was like, okay, not to get too crazy into taxes, but anytime taxes go away, that helps most of you, especially the working class, the people who are contributing to society through your sweat equity, basically. Um, we're also going to talk about the housing market cost, but as I said, let us know where you're tuning in from. We've got Grant tuning in from Casa Grande. Everyone likes to say Casa Grande, Casa Grande, but we're calling it Casa Grande. How do you say it, Grant? But yeah, so thank you to everyone who's smashing up the likes as we continue to get this video out there. So the next thing we're going to talk about is what you need to know about the Arizona housing market. So in October of 2024, home prices in Arizona were actually up about 1.6% from the previous year. The median home price in Arizona right now, give about $420,000. Okay. And that's as of the summertime. That was a 6% increase from the previous year. So housing prices are going up, but there's one thing that you need to know, and this is a big what. Uh, there's more houses being listed for sale than there are buyers. So there's a lot of people who have been on the market trying to sell their home for a long time, and they haven't been able to do so. So they've had to lower the price. Um, I would say we're probably around, well, it's hard to get the level. I would say 2021 levels. Okay. Because, 2022 was the peak, and now we're kind of coming back down to the prices that we had around 2021. And we've just been hovering around that price level. We haven't quite got back up to where it was in 2022 when it hit the peak. The average median time for homes to be on the market is about 56 days. That's up year over year. Um, Arizona housing inventory, though, it's still considered low. So we still need more construction, more building. And, Arizona still got a lot of things coming our way. We've just got Taiwan Semi. They've built their factory, and, there's a lot of jobs coming in with that. Although some of the problems that's happening, some of the tech companies that were in Arizona are failing, like Nikola Motors. They built a big factory, and they might have to mothball that thing unless they get a CEO who's competent and an electric car product that actually works that people want to buy. You also see Intel is one of the worst performing stocks, I believe, in 2024. So that's not looking good for Intel. And we have a big Intel factory in Chandler. Home values in Phoenix, just Phoenix in general, they could start dropping by the end of the year. That could be good for new possible buyers. But depending on when you bought your home, we'll see what happens to your market value. I would say where the prices were around 2019, 2018 seemed like fair market value, but that would be a real decline. Like that would be almost 30 to 40%. And I don't think that's going to happen. So generally speaking, a lot of pundits, a lot of researchers, analysts say Arizona housing market is still overvalued. If you're a realtor, you're probably not wanting to hear that. If you're a potential buyer, you're probably not wanting to hear that. Or if you're a seller, you're not wanting to hear that. So let's see, where's everyone tuning in from? Drop a comment and let us know who's out there. Jane coming in from Torrance, California. Nice. Helen says from Tucson. Carmen is tuning in from Santa Cruz, California. And then Bike Bender tuning in from Surprise, Arizona. Fountain Hills in the house. We got Phoenix. What part of Phoenix are you guys tuning in from? Anyone from Tucson, Yuma, Flagstaff? We got cold New Jersey. Man, yeah, if you're in New Jersey right now, you definitely want to be in Arizona. Arizona during the December is just a beautiful place. That's where you want to be. You know, it's good weather. Um, I mean, you could anywhere in Arizona, even Flagstaff is probably better than New Jersey this time of year. And Flagstaff's our cold spot. Chandler. Anyway, so let's keep talking about the Arizona housing market, things that you need to know. I think we've already established that the housing market is overvalued, right? So what about Tucson? Is it overvalued? Yes. Tucson used to be known as the little brother or little sister of Phoenix, where you could get a little bit better deal. You're not going to get as much hustle and bustle, but now Tucson's considered overvalued. So where are the deals in Arizona? I mean, is it Prescott? No. Is it Verde Valley? No. So I mean, you're not really finding any special pricing anywhere in Arizona. Now, to be fair, you could say this about the majority of boomtown, uh, modern boomtowns in America right now, where it just seems like everything is overvalued. And with the presidential change coming up here, you're going to see. We've seen some news that has impacted the markets. One of those being the stock market, of course, but also cryptocurrency. For those of you who are invested in cryptocurrencies, it's interesting because I actually started a coin. It's called Pocky Pocky coin. And this is kind of like a joke that I had with Southeast Asia as I was going around, and that's why I gave it the name. But I can go on a little story about this real quick if you guys don't mind. So, as you guys know, I've been invested in Bitcoin since 2015. And so it's been a really lucrative investment. And the number one thing that I had to do with Bitcoin is hold, right? Well, so I finally started what is called a meme coin called Pocky Pocky. It's on the Solana network. If any of you guys actually want to get in some of the coins, I can send you some of the coins by an airdrop. You can also buy and invest in the project, but I'm just going to send you some. If you drop me your Solana address, I can airdrop you some. If you wanted to buy, you have to buy on Pump Fund. We're about 40% of the way there to graduating the coin. So again, it's Pocky Pocky. But yeah, I started that because of the name. As I was going around Indonesia and Philippines, I would just ask someone if they had Pocky Pocky, and I would always get the funniest chuckle out of people whenever I would ask. They'd always say, what is Pocky Pocky?" They would always just be so baffled by it, and so I had to find a reason for what Pocky Pocky is. But basically, they have places named like Lapu Lapu, Ilo Ilo, and so I just made up my own word, kind of just to play around with the locals and get a good laugh out of people. And every time, 100% success, getting a laugh or a smile out of someone when I bring it up. So that's why I named the coin that. Anyways, story over. But let's get talking about Arizona. See where everyone else is tuning in from. Northwest Tucson. XRP and silver, not a financial advisor though. Yeah, I'm not a financial advisor either. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, I mean, it's like when you invest in markets, when you invest in things, you have to basically, I mean, do your own research. I've had to do my own research, but usually you want to invest in something that's strong and then just hold. Like Warren Buffett said, it's not timing the market, it's time in the market. What that basically means is everyone's always waiting to buy. You could apply this to the Arizona real estate market. Everyone's waiting for the price to go down. But if you really want to buy and own in Arizona, don't think about the timing so much. Think about just, hey, I'm going to be here for 20 years. And in that 20-year span, when you zoom out to a macro perspective, you look back and you see that the prices have gone in a favorable direction over a 20-year period. Obviously, because of inflation and other reasons, appreciation. I mean, Arizona continues to appreciate. We have some things that are on the horizon that you may want to pay attention to, such as World War III. That could be a big factor. I mean, I don't know how that could impact the housing market directly, unless we America in general like suffered a lot. BRICS is creating a new currency. If you guys don't know what BRICS is, you should pay attention to that. You know, a lot of people talk about the US dollar. But right now, the biggest thing the United States has is the US dollar. Because without the dollar, we don't really produce much. Um, Even here in like anywhere in the world, like I go all around the world, you know who's I tell people this all the time and I hate to hear it. Like, I don't know if it's pride, but you remember uh pride always arrives before the great fall, right? So we don't want to be prideful. Um, but the point that I'm making is the truth is China manufactures a lot, a lot, and they also, um, along with manufacturing, they also build for a lot of places. I recently went to Laos. Laos, everyone thinks Laos is like not in good shape. China just built Laos a high speed rail. United States doesn't even can't even build a high speed rail. I mean, really, we California can't build a high speed rail. I guess we have a high speed rail in the Northeast, but it's crazy. It's amazing to see how United States can't get things done, but China can go all around the world building high-speed rails, modern brand new airports, modern brand new highways, and the way that how fast they build them, it's like breakneck speed. You're just like they start the project and within like 3 months it's done. In the United States, it would take literally like sometimes 10 years. And I'm just like, as an American, I'm like, I don't know if I don't know what's going on here. I'm like, I don't know if that's good. And then I talk to Americans, they're like, we're the strongest country in the world. We can kick anyone's butt. You don't understand how strong we are. I'm like, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. I mean, that's good. But anyway, um, Molly says, I bought Dogecoin. So you bought some Dogecoin. Um, uh, what did you buy Dogecoin? Janet says, I have a brother who lives in Prescott, Arizona, got tired of Los Angeles. I think most people who go to Los Angeles get tired of Los Angeles. I've been to, 88 countries now, and many of those multiple times over. Costa Rica, Philippines, Thailand, Dubai, I've been to multiple times over. Europe, I've been to like 3 times, but uh I would say that American cities, if you compare them against most of the cities around the world, it's hard to say like what are you going to say, like Los Angeles or Dubai? Okay, which one would you go with? Well, I look at quality of life and lifestyle. Like, are you able to thrive? Are you able to live your best life in a place like Los Angeles? Is so expensive. I mean, and you spend so much time in cars, it's not really that great. I mean, it has incredible weather, beautiful beaches, but the whole coastline is built up with homes and industrial, commercial real estate these days. But Los Angeles, Miami. I mean, I always tell people come to Phoenix. I'm like, come to Phoenix, and first thing I do is I say, go to Sedona, go to Grand Canyon, um, go to Antelope Canyon, check out Horseshoe Bend. For those of you who've seen our most recent videos, we went up to a Monument Valley. You guys got to watch that video. That's a great place to go. Hopefully, some of you guys were inspired to get up there and check out Monument Valley. We also went up to the White Mountains recently, which is considered northeastern Arizona or really eastern Arizona. And then we went down to southern Arizona in the last vlogs, and we did the Apache Trail, which just recently opened. So we've got tons of content that we just put out. If you haven't watched all of that, you really get a good idea of what to expect about going around Arizona. We're going to have some more Phoenix videos coming out. Thank you to the 15 people who crushed up the likes. Are you guys drinking coffee or tea? What time is it where you are today? I'm drinking chamomile tea. All right. So who do we got here? Yeah. So getting back on the subject of Arizona housing market, we talked about some of the things that are holding it back, making it overvalued. What's it going to take to get this housing market to stabilize and then start going up again? Well, it's going to come down to interest rates. The loan amounts for mortgages by Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, those have been around 5.2%. So that's kind of high. I mean, right now I'm locked in at a 4.7% and I have a condo in Mesa, and that was high. I mean, in 2019, I was able to refi my house when I was living in Santan Valley, and I got it down to like two something. That was great. My mortgage was 1,100 my a month. My house, my principal balance was 200 and like $60,000. Everything was great, and started traveling, so I had to sell it because I had a garden and garden with a koi pond and a spa. It's just high maintenance to you can't leave a house like that just unattended. You have to have someone either living there or you have to pay someone to come into your backyard when you have a high maintenance house. With a condo, it's pretty much set it and forget it. Make sure you got the good AC, make sure your electrical stuff works, no leaks, and then cruise control if you ever have to travel for work. But yeah, I mean, I would say if we wanted to talk about the boomtown areas in Arizona or in Phoenix in particular, Queen Creek and Southeast Phoenix is still where the growth is happening, all the way from Santan Valley. I heard it was going to incorporate, Santan Valley might be getting incorporated. If you go down towards Florence, that's another area that's getting a lot of development that's going to extend all the way into Coolidge. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. And then some of the places where you're seeing the most instability in Phoenix Metro with the housing market, places in the West Valley like Laveen, that whole area, Buckeye, that's where the housing market isn't so strong right now. I mean, it looks like prices could continue to go down out there. So that's something to keep on the radar. So thank you to the 19 people who smashed up the likes. Let us know where you're tuning in from so we can give a shout out. We got Fountain Hills, Phoenix, New Jersey, Chandler, Tucson. We got Casa Grande in the house. We got lots of California. It looks like a few people from California in the house. Um, anyone from Texas, Florida? We got Toronto in the house. That's Canada. We got someone drinking tea. Yeah, this is actually chamomile tea. You guys ever had chamomile tea? I put ginger, honey, and lemon, and it tastes good. No caffeine. No caffeine. Conventional wisdom in 2019 was prices would crash. I mean, yeah, we in 2020 it looked like for sure prices were going to go down on the housing market, and it did the complete opposite. It had like a flash crash in March. Everyone thought everything was going down bad, and then all of a sudden in like April, May, everything just started going back up again. And then by the end of 2020, the housing market was in really strong shape. If you don't know what happened in 2020, well, I think everyone knows. I don't need to say it or actually talk about it. It's a word that people don't like to throw around. All right, so we got Toronto, Mesa, Maine, San Francisco Bay Area, North Phoenix, drinking coffee, and Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Have you guys got any travel plans to go around Arizona? If you are looking to do some summer, or I'm sorry, some winter trips, going to winter wonderlands, uh, definitely getting out there to Flagstaff, going up to Snowbowl on it after it's had some snow. Maybe not the first snow of the year. That's when it's busiest because everyone has been chomping at the bit to do some snowboarding, and all the NAU students go up there. But if we get a lot of snow this year, definitely try to get up there to Snowbowl. If you want a little bit more of a laid back experience, you can go to Sunrise or you can go down to Tucson. They have that one at the top of Mount Lemon. But if you don't like snow, obviously you can go cruise around Tucson, uh, you know, get familiarized with Tucson, do a road trip down there, Southern Cal or Southern Arizona. And yeah, maybe even I would say spring break, Rocky Point, Puerto Penasco. That place has grown a lot over the years. I don't know if you guys have ever been down to Puerto Penasco, but I guess it's Arizona's beach for sure, but you get mixed reviews. Some people they just absolutely love it. Some people go down there, they have bad luck with the cops. All it takes is one bad cop to ruin it, and then this guy goes on to Facebook groups and starts spreading hate about Rocky Point, and then someone else says, "Hey, that happened to me. They pulled me over for no reason. They said I did a rolling. They said I rolled the stop sign. I didn't." And then people are like, "Yeah, that's." And then all of a sudden it gets a bad rap. So Rocky Point in Arizona always kind of goes up and then down. But if you can go there during spring break, it's pretty good. Someone actually got electrocuted in the jacuzzi. They were hanging out in the jacuzzi and they got electrocuted. That is not a good situation for that hotel. I don't know what ended up coming from that, but you're just sitting in the jacuzzi thinking, everything's good, and then bam, done. Okay, so we got, how's the weather in Tucson in late Feb? It can snow. They could get snow in Tucson in late February, but generally speaking, it's probably in the 60s. In the mornings, it'll be you could get a frostbite, wake up to a frostbite. February. I think February is probably our coldest month in Arizona. January, February seem like the coldest months. But Tucson or December, it hits us quite hard because that's when temperatures start really going down. I always said around Halloween is when the temperature started going down from hot to finally like fall temperatures. But lately, it's been going a little bit further into November than it used to. How's the Gilbert market? Well, Gilbert is classified in the southeast Phoenix area, so you could say that Gilbert, along with Queen Creek, is stable. Queen Creek is one of the ones that's hot. People, I think, when people move to Arizona, they want to go where the newer communities are. They're not really gravitating to places like Tempe or the more established areas. But then again, the one area where Arizona is really accelerating is in luxury. Like Paradise Valley is a niche or an area where prices continue to go up. So there's a lot of people who have money. This is where that divide comes in. There's the haves and the have-nots. The rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. Thank you to the 30 people who smashed up the likes. If you guys smash up the likes some more, I'll keep going. But anyway, the prices in Paradise Valley and Scottsdale seem to be the strongest, whereas like the lower to middle income housing market seems unstable. So that just shows you kind of like the divide that's happened, where some people got crazy amounts of money, and in the luxury market, it's strong. So it's Main Street that's not doing so hot. Wall Street is doing hot. I mean, Wall Street's been killing it. Nvidia, Bitcoin. I mean, you guys saw what happened with Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys invest in cryptocurrencies. Like I said, I've been invested in Bitcoin since 2014, and it's interesting. John DeLuna, you're in Corona, California, getting ready for a gig in San Pedro. Nick says, Jeff, I would like to take my first trip to Arizona next year, and I'm considering relocation again. I might visit when it's hot to see if I can handle it. Yeah. I mean, whenever I'm looking at an area to buy or live, I always want to see it at night too. Like if I'm about to buy, I want to go there at nighttime and see what the vibe is like, you know, at night in front of the house, in front of the condo. And I remember when I was going to buy property in Hawaii, and I was in Ocean View. Ocean View is on the southern slope of Mauna Loa. Mauna Loa being the largest volcano in the world. And the property was $7,000 for like 3 acres. I'm like, man, that's a great deal. Why is it so cheap? I mean, I'm looking out there in Mauna Loa, and I'm looking out at the ocean, and it's beautiful. Yeah, it's a lot of lava fields. I did some research, and they were like, yeah, this, when Mauna Loa erupts, your home is going to be taken away with it. So I was like, ooh, it's kind of like the hills have eyes. But everything looked great in the daytime. But the second I was out there in the nighttime, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'd want to, like, have to go outside for some reason out here, because it's also, Ocean View is also known as the FBI informant programs. That's where people who are an FBI informant go to live. So it's like he's got a little bit of a weird vibe down there in Ocean View. But that's what I'm saying. If that was like my litmus test, you can, and it can apply for living in Arizona or moving to a new place. Go there at night. But like he said, he's going to go to Arizona in the summertime. Now, I will say this. You're going to need more than 3 days to really experience that heat, because a lot of people will come to Arizona and they'll do 3 days and they'll be like, hey, it's not that bad. What happens with Arizona heat that really wears on people is it's the day after day after day. It's just that grinding. And it used to be maybe 3 to 4 months of like intense heat. which is now turned into 4 or 5 months almost intense heat. And so, yeah, you can handle 3 days of it. Anyone can handle 3 days of it because the first thing they say, it's like a dry heat. It's like opening up the oven, and then you can easily go indoors, turn on the AC, and it works. You can easily go inside your car, turn on the AC, and it works. And 3 days is fine, but it's day after day. Can you handle that? That's the true litmus test. Um, Restored Data says Northern Arizona folks, summer is better. Bring your business up here too. Are you inviting business owners to help contribute to the economy in Northern Arizona, or is that an invite for business only? Sounds good. Brad Smith says from cold Minnesota. Yeah. So where's everybody else watching from today? I got a new phone. Finally, I got the iPhone 16, and basically nothing. I mean, has Apple come out with anything new for like the last 3 phones? I just got it because I filled up the 1 terabyte memory, and I was kind of like, well, I could delete it, but what if I need this footage? So I just kept it. But I got the new phone, and I don't know. Apple just doesn't really make any changes or improvements. I mean, maybe we've reached peak tech with phones. Maybe they're going to have to come out with something new. It's kind of like the technology that we've seen with ChatGPT. I don't know if you guys use Google or ChatGPT. A lot of people still Google it, right? ChatGPT it. I mean, you can get an answer to anything. And actually, even me, I'm starting to ramp up my usage of ChatGPT. I now pay the $20 a month. And I'm not advocating for OpenAI. I mean, I'd probably buy the stock just because they're the leader in it. Although it'd probably go up, and then once it IPO'd, it would go back down. And then I'd have to hold it because, again, that's the strategy in markets: buy and hold. It's like buying a house. You buy and then you hold. If you're like one of those people who's trying to flip homes in Arizona right now, you're going to get burned hard. Like, Arizona is not where you buy and flip homes. Those days will come, and they've been here. We've had them before. I mean, in 2013, it was probably a good time. I mean, who remembers back in the day when foreclosed homes were the thing? You never hear about people talking about foreclosure or short sales anymore. But in 2007, that was all the buzz. If you were one of those people who was trying to buy low, sell high. But when it comes to getting information, go on ChatGPT. Does anyone here use ChatGPT? Restored Data says Prescott Valley at least. What's your question, Janet, about Tucson being cold in the winter, or you're asking about Tucson in the wintertime? It's cold. I mean, it's chilly, it's brisk, it's beautiful weather actually. I mean, but in the mornings it's cold, in the evenings it's chilly. You'll need a jacket. But I mean, if you're coming from New York, or if you're coming from Cincinnati or Buffalo, or I don't know where you're coming from, Minnesota, yeah, it's going to be warm. I mean, for me, it's cold because I'm from Arizona, so it is what it is. People watching from Washington State, West Virginia, Northwest Indiana, North Scottsdale. Wow. How's the weather in Tucson in February? Well, yeah, I think we already talked about that. Now, if you guys wanted to see where the housing market was probably the strongest right now, definitely going out there towards the southeast where all the new builds are. And that's going to include places like Eastmark. I do own a condo, but I'm thinking about, if I was to buy again, where would I buy in Phoenix area? Or even if I didn't want to buy and I just wanted to rent out my condo and live in a different area, where would I want to go in Phoenix? And honestly, the area that seems the most interesting to me right now would be up towards the Usury Mountains, around north, far north, like almost towards Apache Junction, but not Apache Junction. So I wouldn't go to Apache Junction, that's for sure. But let me see if I can get you. It's towards the Usury Mountains. I've been out there in that area, and the reason I like it is because you can easily get in some good exercise in the evenings or in the mornings by walking. I mean, I'm big on walkable cities. A lot of people in America, they love their cars and that's their thing, but that's what's leading to the obesity. You have to get out there and move. If you're not moving your body, if you're sedentary and you're just sitting down, laying down, that's what's going to give you the big belly, the high body body mass index, body fat. And so Phoenix, unfortunately, we have a lot of overweight people. People don't even know they're overweight. I mean, I'm considered overweight. I was like, whoa, man, like overweight. I thought I was like doing all right, but I'm considered overweight by, you know, I weigh 218 pounds and I'm 6'2". Uh, but if you see me, I got a little bit of a belly, but that's it. But I'm trying to lose that now, and it's not easy. But where it came from was drinking sugary drinks, eating a high carb diet, and not exercising enough because I was living in Phoenix, where it's not like Los Angeles or San Diego or Miami where you can go for a jog and walk around. I mean, yeah, you could, but it's not like beautiful. It's not like scenic in most areas in the city of Mesa. Like you can't really jog or do anything in Mesa. It's like a concrete jungle, literally. They paved the desert. I mean, they have the canal system you could bike, but you want to have an active lifestyle. So for me in Arizona, where can I find that active lifestyle, whether it be hiking or walking around, going on trails, just getting that cardio, getting that I would say 1 hour. You want a 1 hour of that a day. Everyone says, oh, you need 20 to 30 minutes. That's what they tell you. But I think we need about at least an hour of like really good cardio, get the blood flowing, and obviously less carbs, less sugars. um, we got Semper tuning in from West Texas. Naffer is in Laveen. Youngberg. What's Youngberg? You mean Youngtown? Daryl says Seattle. How's the water situation? So the water situation in Arizona is stable. I mean, the government has said that we have enough water to last us a significant amount of time, even if there was a bad drought. But water levels, if you go to like Roosevelt Lake or Saguaro Lake in the summertime, Roosevelt Lake always goes down. It's not a great recreational area around like July and August because the Salt Rivers stopped bringing in new water, and they've already released a lot of the water into the lower reservoirs down in Canyon Lake, Saguaro Lake, Apache Lake. But that's the Salt River project. And then you have the CAP. I would say right now, Arizona keeps growing in population. If we keep getting droughts, I mean, that could create a dire situation. But honestly, a lot of the water supply from Arizona comes from aquifers underneath the ground. That's one of the reasons why we don't have an underground, because you would think that Phoenix would be a great candidate to build an underground, like get out of the heat, go underground, build malls underground, build an underground city. A lot of places around the world have underground cities. I mean, places like Singapore, very hot place year round, right next to the equator. They have an underground city. I mean, you can literally walk all around the underground city in Singapore. A lot of people don't even know that from the outside, but Singaporeans know it because it's so hot up top. Montreal, they have the opposite. They have a lot of snow, so they have an underground city, but a lot of places have an underground city. Phoenix would have been perfect for an underground city, but it's because the water table is actually so shallow, so you can't really go too deep with that because of the aquifer. So I'm drinking my tea. What are you guys drinking again? Restored Data says, I think it's a cultural thing in Phoenix. Don't we have a lot of fast food joints, sprawled car culture, full of single family homes? I mean, yeah, if you wanted to get into the details about why I think that there's an obesity problem in Arizona or in America in general, of course you have to look at the diet, but you have to look at the sedentary lifestyle. We're so dependent on automobiles. I mean, people will get in an automobile to to drive to Walgreens that's 2 blocks away because they can't walk there. The streets are, I mean, it's crazy. You go down walking down one of those, like, I don't know, University or Broadway or any one of those streets in any part of Phoenix. I mean, cars are just whizzing by left and right. It's not very safe. It's dangerous. So, but I mean, people will go pick up their diabetes medicine at the Walgreens, and then that's their form of exercise all day. They're just basically going from the house to the car to Walgreens. They don't even get out of the car. They go through the drive-through, and then they go back to the house. But what they really need to be doing is getting rid of the belly and the fat, which is causing the insulin resistance for most of those people. Some of it's hereditary, but a lot of it, you want to make your body more resistant or available to insulin. That's how you would do it. And that's part of the diet, part of the exercise regimen. And, as an American, I was dealing with that myself, like having to find a way to stay active and stay very physically active. That's the key, going to the gym. I mean, at the very least, you got to get your butt in the gym, and you got to figure out a way to do it. Someone tuning in from Oak Park, Michigan, Logan says, do you think Phoenix has developed enough as a city to offer amenities and nightlife of cities like Miami or Las Vegas? Sure, why not? I mean, the areas for nightlife in Phoenix are going to be downtown Gilbert, downtown Scottsdale, downtown Phoenix. Let's see here. Phoenix has an all right nightlife scene. I mean, what does Miami offer? I mean, they have clubs around like Brickell. Las Vegas. No one can really keep up with Vegas. I mean, Wynwood in Miami, I guess. South Beach obviously is pretty famous. You can't really beat. I'd say downtown Scottsdale could be comparable to South Beach. You also have Mill Avenue, where all the college students party. So we'll see. Daryl says, trying decide if I should go back to AZ or North Dallas. I'm not a fan of Dallas. I could not see myself living in Dallas. I've just never really. I like Dallas, I guess, to visit, but it's probably a good place to live. If I had to choose between Houston and Dallas, I would take Houston. I never really got into Dallas. I would probably pick Austin. No, I would take San Antonio. I would take San Antonio over Dallas. But who knows? Maybe I need to go back to Dallas and spend more time and see what I like about it. If anything, I really like Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is, I think, an underrated place. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Oklahoma City. It's very green. It's a very green city. Thank you to the 43 people who smashed up the likes. And Restore Data says, I think Arizona would benefit with legalized statewide commercial gaming, compete with reservations, casino, also legal statewide. Oh, I can't say that word. But just check Restore Data's comment if you want to see what he said. But I don't know. I think Arizona kind of has a little benefit to just having the casino. Like, you can do things on the reservation that you couldn't do in regular state land, right? Like, for example, they were able to build an aquarium. I mean, PETA and animal rights groups would have stopped that very fast. They would not have probably been able to get the permits to build the aquarium unless it was on the res like that. Same thing with Talking Stick and the other Gila River Casino. There's so many casinos in Arizona. So a lot of the bureaucracy and the red tape that the United States has is kind of, the reservation's kind of immune to that. They have their own code of conduct and governance, and business people kind of like that. They like having that kind of like autonomous, semi-autonomy. Restore Data says Montana is another state that allows statewide gambling. Believe it or not, they have little roadside casinos. Yeah, I mean, there's reasons why the government around the world really outlaws casino gaming and other things like that, illicit activities, and it's because they can ruin people's lives, and especially when people do it anyway, right? Whether it's legal or illegal, but when it's illegal, it creates avenues and pathways for people to do that. And if you get a lot of people who are gambling or have gambling addiction, because that's an addiction, it can be bad. But I mean, they've already kind of done it already, so it's kind of like just let it fly. So I am for deregulation. I think too much regulation has too much bureaucracy has the United States in the situation that we're in, where it's kind of sterile, lifestyle sterile. We're not, we don't have any. Everything's just kind of like cookie cutter. It's like, hey, build a Burger King over here, build a McDonald's across the street, put a Circle K right there, put an oil change place right there, put a tire repair, and then put a car wash, and then a Walgreens, and then repeat. And it's like, who built Las Vegas to begin with? The mafia. I mean, who built the internet? I mean, what built the internet? There's so you kind of need an edgy side. Yeah, a lot of people need conservative because they have families and they have kids and they want to protect the kids, but you kind of need a little bit of like wild horses around to keep things interesting and keep pushing the envelope. I guess you could say rebels. And some people think Elon Musk is one of those people who's willing to confront the bureaucracy and take it head on and do amazing things like, land rockets, literally land rockets. I think a lot of people don't understand how amazing it is to land a rocket. Rockets don't land. Before they were just, they'd go up and then they would parachute into the ocean and they'd become debris and then they'd get picked up. But and I'm not saying Elon necessarily did it, but he's the CEO, he's the leader of that company that's doing amazing things like landing rockets that no one else in the world was doing. And anytime the United States is able to have a technology breakthrough like that, I think that's something for us to be proud of, to know that we're the ones doing that, because we need to be trying to lead the world. And right now, from my assessment of everything I've seen going around Asia and Europe and all that, China's the one leading the world. A lot of people, like I said, they would challenge that. They would like to challenge that every time I say that. But I would say, come walk around the world with me. Come to Peru. Ask the guy in Cusco who's building that big, international airport. It's not an American company. Who's building the big freeway or the big highway from Costa Rica through Costa Rica from San Jose to the Caribbean side? China. Who's building the airport? China. Who's building the high-speed rails in Laos? Who's building the ports in Bangladesh? Who's building the ports in Africa? Who's building these big cities? I mean, where's the American construction contractors? I mean, we don't manufacture anything. I mean, everything's made in China. I mean, where's this phone made? China. Where's this seat made? China. Where's this shirt made? I don't know. India. But what's made in America? I mean, GoPro, no one even wants a GoPro anymore because they'd rather buy a DJI product, action camera. I'm just saying. I mean, so Elon Musk, at least he's creating Tesla, SpaceX, doing things because we need more innovation and we need more leaders who are doing that. Um, is there an up and coming artsy area, more affordable area like Carefree? Yeah, I would say Tubac. That's in southern Arizona. You got to go down there. Some people would say Bisbee, but Bisbee's just stuck in time. You could also check out Cottonwood if you haven't been up to Cottonwood in the Verde Valley. That might be considered an up and coming area. I would say Jerome is a very beautiful place. You could easily see that place growing. They call it a ghost town, but it's got potential to become something. It's just, I don't know if they don't want it or what, but I mean, Jerome could become something. It's got a nice vibe there. It could get better. It could get a lot better. I mean, again, it's going to take some innovation. It's going to take a lot less bureaucracy, and it's going to take more affordable prices to get people who have money investing, and not just big Wall Street firms. Not just BlackRock and hedge funds buying everything, and then basic. Those are the guys that are coming along doing the cookie cutter, the Walmart, the Walgreens, the Burger King, the Circle K, all that corporate stuff. No mom and pop, right? And it takes the culture and it takes the soul out of the community. And that's what they're doing with all these cities, is they're just corporate enterprises. I mean, if you drive around Phoenix, very seldomly will you see a thriving mom and pop shop. Everything is being replaced with a Lowe's, a Home Depot, a Big O tires. I mean, the small business concept, everything is corporate America. It's all corporate. James says, my wife and I are serious walkers in North Phoenix out of the sunrise in summer, going to do 4 miles now. In December, you can exercise outdoors anytime. Yeah, from probably December until April. It's a good window to get out there and be very active, try and lose a few pounds, and then, change it up, because that's how you gotta surprise your body. You can't do the same thing over and over and over. Like intermittent fasting, one of the problems is you'll lose weight at first with intermittent fasting, but once your body gets used to the fact that you're not feeding at the same time over and over, it stops burning the fat. So because your body gets used to it. Your body's a very intelligent cellular DNA, living organism that knows what it's doing. And your brain says, I want to lose weight, but your body says, oh no, we need to preserve food. So changing up your routines, changing up your exercises. If you're going to do exercise outdoors, doing a lot of hikes, then by the time April comes around, go into weight training and do different types of exercises to keep lowering the weight, because a lot of people are overweight. It's the thing. It's not just cutting out carbs and fasting. What is a trustful place to look for cheaper homes like mobile homes? Probably driving around areas like Casa Grande, and then pick one that you like, and then just go in there and talk to the sales office. Go to Sun City. Sun City has a lot of mobile homes. Go to Mesa, right there off of Main Street. Cruise Main Street. Look at all those mobile home parks. I mean, it's just going to cost you gas, but you'll know the area because you've done reconnaissance. You've checked it out. What is it? Someone says they're watching from Washington. Someone says it's way too high here in Tucson. Why do I almost want to move to Milwaukee or even Texas? A lot cheaper. Yeah, I mean, there's a big thing with pro athletes. So pro athletes, you would think that they would all want to live in, say, California or New York or places like that, but they don't, because the high taxes. You get a $10 million contract. Your family and friends think you're making $10 million, but little do they know half of that is going to go to taxes. And if you're living in a state like California that's got 7%, or a state that has 10% taxes just on state, you're getting double taxed right there. You're paying taxes to the Fed, the IRS, then you're paying taxes to the state. So, I mean, a place like I think Oregon, Texas, Florida, no state income tax. That's a big thing for people who are high income earners. Even if you're a low income earner, I mean, that paying $1,000 to $2,000 every year for the state tax. Imagine if that was removed. That'd be $2,000 more to your bank account. People say you end up taking a hit with property tax and other areas, but I'm not so sure about that. Timmy G. Oh yeah. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to go live and see what's going on with you guys. So we'll wrap it up here. And yeah, basically Arizona is considered still overvalued, just in case you're tuning in now. Check out Pocky coin. That was the cryptocurrency that I created. If you guys want, I can airdrop you some coins. It's just a community coin. It's on Solana. I'm just passing around. You guys want to be a holder of the coin, see where it goes. I mean, it's a community coin. We're not doing a pre-sale or anything, but if you've never done cryptocurrency, this could be a good start for you. You download the Phantom wallet. It's on the Solana network. And then once you download Phantom, you create your wallet, and you just send me your public address for Solana, and I can send you the coins. You can actually comment that below on the main video once we're done with the live stream, and I'll send the coins that way. So we'll see you guys on the next video from Arizona.